And the next one is the rolling average. What is rolling average? Rolling average is also called as a moving average. It is also called as a moving average. What is moving average? I just go to my PowerPoint, and I'll explain you. Moving average, take the average of specific number of prior data points. Supposing you have the data points something like this. Let's daily closing prices of your stock. Let's say Wipro stock price, or let's the some kind of Infosys stock prices, this one, right? So first day is 11, second day, third day, fourth day, fifth day, sixth day, last 7 days, right? The share price you've taken it for Infosys. And if somebody is asking you what is the moving average, simple moving average, right? In this case, what you will do, so give me the simple moving average for the 5 day. So what we do is, we first take the 5 values, 11 plus 12 plus 13 plus 14 plus 15 divided by 5. You get 13, first 5 day. Okay, and then what we do is, the next step is, okay, second day of 5 days simple moving average. This is the first day of the simple moving, first day of simple moving average for the first day of 5 days simple moving average for this given data is, take the 5 data points values and then divide by 5, you will get this one. And then if you want to see the second day of 5 day moving average, in that case, what we will do is, we will start from the second day, we'll remove the first value. And then from here, you will take the 5 days value, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we move, keep like this for each day. First day of 5 days, this one. First day of simple moving average, right? First day of 5 days simple moving average, this one. Okay, and the second day moving averages, you drop the first one, and then you start from the second one, 4, 5. You add these 5 values. And third day of 5 day moving averages, it drops the 3, 4, 5. Yes, it drops this value. Okay, for the third day. This is how the moving average works. And it is also called as a rolling average, moving average. Okay, the first day of the moving average simply covers the last 5 days. This is the least recent value. This is the last values. It simply covers the last 5 days. The second day of the moving average drops the first data point and adds the new data point. It starts from the second value, and then it takes the 5 data points and then it adds them and then divided by 5. That is how you get the second day of the moving average. So now how I can do this in my Power BI thing. Okay, so what we do is, here I just create the table here, table visual. 1 second, I just if you click on it, the reason, see, one advantage of demonstrating already created one, time, we can save the time. Other thing is how you can explore the report which I share it to you. So you open the report, click on this visual, and then the right side, you just look at it here, right? In the x-axis and y-axis. In the x-axis, I mentioned date. In the y-axis, I mentioned sales and the 30-day rolling average. This is your measure. Okay. The name, only the name is 30-day rolling average, but here I have used it, I have used some parameter, okay, parameter visual. So now you understood. First, you understand in this visual what are the columns that I used it. The date column, okay, and then the sales column in the y-axis, and then one measure, okay, 30-day rolling average. I used it here. Fine. Okay, next one is what I did. I just created a parameter visual. So far, I did not cover parameter visual. Even in the data visualization part, I did not cover it. So how you need to create it? You need to go to the view or modeling. Yeah, the modeling. you'll find something called new parameter. Okay, so you just click on this new parameter. It'll take some time. Look here. It's a what if parameter. It's also called a what if parameter. So here the parameter name something like a parameter 5. I give something like that. And then the data type is whole number. And minimum is 7 days. And then maximum is 28 days. And then the increment by 7. It depends on your business logic. You need to specify the minimum and maximum value and then increment. So what I wanted to see is I want to see the rolling average in this visual for 7 days and then increment by 7. 7 plus 7, 14. 14 plus 7, 28. With that in mind, I have created this. When I click on this, a new parameter, like this, it will get created. Already I created it. When I click on this, you will find something like this. Okay. The advantage of this one is you can do what if analysis. If you can slide this circle on the left side, or you can slide it on the right side, simply you can slide it. When you slide it, what happens is, look here, when you slide it once, the 7 becomes 14 because we have given the increment by 7. 14 plus 7 is 21. 21 plus 7 is 28, right? So that is what is happening. Okay. Now the question is, with this, we can do what if analysis. So what is the rolling average for the, or moving average for the 7 days? You remember in the PowerPoint explained you, first 5 day of simple moving average, second 5 day of moving average, explained, right? The same logic here. So in this case, instead of 5 day, 7 day and 14 day moving average, and then 21 day moving average and 28 day moving average. This question also asked by one of my student. Okay, only in this batch I'm covering moving average. Okay, because student, you are not supposed to struggle, right? So in the interview, you should not say this was not covered and all. And this is how you can create the parameter. The idea of this parameter is whenever you slide this towards right, so the visual should also display the moving average for the 14 days. And if you want to say, no, I want to see 21 days and 28 days. Or if you say, no, I want to see 5 days, you can, in that case, when you create the parameter, the initial value is specified 5, increment by 5, the maximum is whatever value you wanted, 30 days, right? You can use it. In my case, I've used the initial value is 7, increment by 7. So what happens is, when I move this, when I slide this, what happens is automatically, actually, I made some changes to this one. It's a working copy of my report file. Look at this, the parameter. Okay, you just look at the same idea here. Look here, when I start with when I slide it towards the extreme left, 7. So what happens? The moving average. And you just look at the visual. I'm going to slide it to the 14 days. 14 days moving average. When I click on it here, 21 days moving average, it's getting changed, right? When I click on this, what happens is you can see the 28 days moving average. You can see that here. So what if the moving average for 5 days? Can you show me the moving average for this, right? What if my moving average day is 14, right? So what is this? So what I do is, see, I just click on this. I will show you how I created this visual first. Step 1 is create the parameter. Step 2 is create this visual. How I created, look here, this is a line chart. I just clicked on it. It got dropped here automatically. In the x-axis, what I did, I just used the date calendar column. Okay. Here, what I did, I just dropped the date column here. Year, quarter, month, everything is there. And then simply you drag and drop it here. Okay. And then next one is in the y-axis, the sales value. So if you keep the cursor here, right, this column came from the sales underscore W04 table. Look here, and if you go down here, and here you will find the sales column here. Right? I dropped this one here. And then the next one is the 30-day. This is the measure I created it. Don't literally go by this name. Okay, 30-day rolling average. I was started thinking about that one in the initially. Okay, just give me a second. In this case, this is the logic I used it. So here I have used the calculate function, sum of sales. dates in period. There is a function called dates in period. So what happens is here, look here, you see what is the name of this parameter? Parameter 2. And what is the value for this one? Parameter value 2. So how do I specify this one? How do I check this one? If you type it in the search parameter, we have created this visual, right? So what is the name of the parameter 2? Look here for this one, parameter 2. Okay. Previously, for the other batch, I demonstrated with this name. For you guys, I have created this parameter, new parameter. The name of this parameter 2 is parameter. The parameter value 2, that is the one is holding the 7, 14 and all. Okay. That is the one. And then I just go to the data. Let me see the parameter 2. Can we see anything? Yeah. Look here, 7, 14, 21, 28. The parameter 2, these are the values. And parameter, we don't see anything. Yeah, generate series. This is the function. Generate is also DAX function. Okay. Parameter value 2. So this is the one in the parameter 2 is holding these values. So parameter 2 of parameter value 2, I just passed it as an argument here. Where in this measure 30-day rolling average, look here I mentioned it, so that whenever you slide it, for example, if you want to slide it back is 7 days, the 7 will get substituted here, copied here. So if in the calendar date, last date is the recent date, and then the day, right? So in the recent date, start date to recent date, what you do is you find out the 7-day moving average. That is what it tells you, sum in period. And the days in period. The days in period, the idea is, for example, first 5 day of moving average. How you do? With this logic, it gives me the first 5 days average. Okay. So not first 5 days average, it adds all the first 5 days value. 5, 6, 8, 10, 11. Divided by 5, I need to give, right? So here, instead of 5, I dynamically return it here. It could be 5, it could be 10, based on the value that you select. You cannot hard code 5 here, right? You cannot specify the value 5 itself directly. That's wrong. Then that is called static. You want to make it dynamic. So what I did, so what is the value I slid I just passed it here. And for this, what is 7 days moving average? If starting from the beginning of the day to recent date, it shows the moving average for 7-day moving average and return the valid day, okay, in terms of day. And then here what I did, I use a distinct count of the calendar date, dates period. And here this one, basically it gives you the denominator value here. That's all. So here finally what I'm doing, sum in period divided by days in period. The same example, first 5 days moving average, how do you calculate? First you add the 5 days values, right? Divided by the 5. That days in period, we are arriving with this logic. Okay. And you just open this measure, and then you just try to understand that this logic. I explained you now. Probably you can also think logically, analyze it. Fine. And then what I did, I just dragged and dropped this. First, in the x-axis, look at the date. We can see that. In the y-axis, along with the sales, look here, if I remove 30-day rolling average, what will happen? It gives me just the sales, right? The line chart. And when I drop this one here in this place in the y-axis, it gives me the moving average along with the sales. Got it? If I change this one, what happens? The 7-day will get copied to that measure. Look here. This one will copy to your measure. What happens in this measure? We are processing it for the 7 days. What is the moving average? We are displaying it here. And then if I slide it again, 14 days, so the values are changing it. Okay, how do I verify this? Control C, Control. You don't have to ask the doubts. I myself explain it. Don't worry. I just copy pasted it. Now we need to verify, right, whether it is doing the moving average correctly or not. So what I do is I just copy paste it. I convert as a table. Look here, the table is very much helpful to do the testing everything. So now what I do is it gives me something I'm not able to understand. Now what I do is I just go here, and then where is that thing, month and year. I just copy this visual One second, is it possible to copy more than one visual? Copy visual. I just go to the page 2, and then this is where we have done it, right? And I just paste it here. Yeah, good. We are able to select more than one visual and then don't sync. Okay, leave it. So in this data set, I have 4-year data. I have it. And then 12-month value is there. Okay. And what I do is, look here, I'm going to select the first year, 2011. Okay. And if you see here, look here in 2011, this is the value. So now I just slide this toward the left side. So 7-day moving average. This is actually sales, right? So for the year 2001, in the quarter 1 month, January, and the first day, what is the sales? And what is the rolling average? Sorry, this is not 30-day rolling average, 7-day rolling average. Okay. And here it takes the 7 days value and then it takes the average and then you put it here. First 7-day moving average. And then second day moving average is calculated from here 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So to verify this, in the end of the day, testing is very much important in any software project. Okay. And on top of this visual, you will find the 3 dots. Click on this. You will have something like export data, export to Excel. This is how you can export the data to Excel. Okay. And what I do is I just give some value here. This is the file I exported it just now. Look here, yeah, the same thing. Whatever you see it here, this year, quarter, month, right? We got exported this one and this one. Look here, I just select 7 days, 7-day rolling average or moving average, right? Here in the slider, I selected 7 and I selected 7. What is the average here? Can you guys tell me what is the average, Satya? 2129, right? For the 7 days, 2129. Can we see the same thing here? 2129, very good, right? And second day moving average. How do I find out that? So this is how it is doing it. Okay, and here to 2916. And I just go back, look here, 2916. Is it doing perfect job, right? This is how you need to test it. It's doing perfect job. You have done a fantastic job. Now you understood with this, what is moving average, which is nothing but it is also called as a rolling average, how we can do that. Okay. So in the case of stock market and even in the case of inventory, they see the moving average. Okay, first 5-day of moving average, second 5-day of moving average. In the case of 5-day moving average, again, we can make it dynamic. This is another interview question. How do you make this a dynamic? Okay, so in that case, in this case, we made it somehow dynamic, right? We create the parameter. In the parameter, we just pass the value. We are passing instead of saying that 7-day, and again opening this code 14-day, again opening this code is painful, right? Instead of manually typing it 7-day every now and then, we made it dynamic. Now you understood what is static, what is dynamic. When you type it manually, it's static. It's painful. Every time you need to go and change it here. And again, you need to execute this one. It has to execute this one. Any syntax error, it has to check all the pain, pain is there. Instead, you pass this, whatever the value that is, you pass this an argument there. So dynamically, whatever the value that you slide it here, 14 days. If you want to see the 14 days, look here, this one will get changed. Okay, 3001, 14 days, first 14 days, it takes the average gives. And then it skips the first day and second day, from the second day to 14 days, and then it takes this one. This is what rolling average, okay? So hope you understood this one, but still you need to practice it. Take my Power BI and then you practice it so that you will be able to pick up quickly. So now we are done with the rolling average, closing balance. And the next one is quickly the time intelligence function. It's already late, right? So don't worry. I will try to explain the concept. It's very simple one. Ideally, I should have started from what is time intelligence and all. I just directly jumped in there. So what exactly time intelligence, why we need to use time intelligence? Time is an asset for any business, just like resources, materials, and money. Time is money. Okay, in US, right, people are working in hourly basis. Every hour they pay you $150, $200. Our guys, data scientists, senior data, they charge like anything. Every 1 hour they charge $1,000, $800. Experienced people, okay? Per day itself, they make close to 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs, those guys. So time is money. Time is an asset for any business. So business, what they do is they use cumulative time-based calculations like year to date, month to date, quarter to date. These are referred to as YTD, MTD, QTD in common. Okay. So in the case of time intelligence, for instance, if your manager is asking you, how are our sales compared to the previous year? Why he wants to know our sales compared to the previous year? For example, he wants to know the current month sales of this year. I want to compare it with the previous year, previous year, same month sales. I want to compare it. Why would they want to compare it? They want to understand, are the sales or the revenues are increasing or decreasing it compared to the previous year? In case of any decline in the sales of this month compared to the previous year same month, what course of action we can take it? Okay, so that's why so in the case of business, you need to monitor it. You need to periodically you need to monitor it, measure it. Unless you monitor and measure it, things can go haywire. That is also the reason why they use these kind of measures like the year to date, month to date, and quarter to date. These are the functions. They use it as a metrics. With this matrix, they can evaluate the business performance on the go. Okay, these are the go-to functions in order to see the year to date, total YTD, total MTD, total QTD. These are the readily or built-in functions that are available as part of your Power BI. This makes your life very simple. Okay. So now first of all, what is month to date? So how many of you have the accounts background? You guys can tell that, right? So month to date is nothing but the period starting from the beginning of the current month up until now. Let's say, what is today's date? Today's date is 10th November, right? If your manager is asking you, what is the month to date sales? Which means starting from November 1st to until yesterday, not today, because today is not yet completed, right? The 1st November to 9th November is your month to date sales. The same thing is applicable for quarter to date. So if they ask you what is the quarter to date sales, can you tell me the quarter to date sales? Let's say he wants to see the quarter to date sales today. So in that case, starting from January to, so what is this now? Now we are in the third quarter, right? October, November, December. Yeah, October 1st to until yesterday. What is the total sales we made? What is the sales we made? That is called your quarter to date sales. And year to date is beginning of the current year up to but not including today. Okay, so this is what is your year to date. Very simple, isn't it? If I ask you in December month 11th, what is the month to date sales? December 1st to December 10th. That is what is called the month to date. Once you understand month to date, the rest of them are very simple. The quarter date, year to date, the concept is very simple. And I just show you with this data, how it works, the month to date. Look here on the left side of the date column, all the dates are Jan, Feb, everything is there. And each date in January, how much orders the customers placed, you can see it. Year to date, quarter date, month to date is there. Ignore year to date, quarter date at this moment. Month to date column, you look at it. This is the order. We received it on 14th January and 15th January. Fine. So here, if you see here, it takes the cumulative total. So here, sorry, in the okay, 697 maybe your previous year thing. Okay, and by adding this one, you will get 767. Okay, 767. And if you see here, 767 plus 99 cumulative total, 8666 plus 36, 902, 902 plus 56, 958. Likewise, it is doing the cumulative total all and running total. And then what happens is the month to date measure, right? It calculates the running total for the number of orders for each month, and it resets as the month ends. Look here, for the February month, it is not doing the cumulative total. It resets the cumulative total value, right? So it starts from 75. In the case of month to date, it resets the cumulative total at the month ends, right? At the month ends. So once the month ends, January 31st January, this month ends, January month ends, and February 1st onwards, it will start from the beginning. 75 plus 38, 113, 113 plus 0 is 113, 113 plus 57, 170. The same thing is applicable in the case of year to date and quarter date. So at the end of every quarter, the values will get reset. At the end of every year, the values will get reset. So, but when you compare the year to date and month to date, till the year 2013 year end, it is doing the running total. Look here, it is not resetting here. 1674 plus 75, 1749. But when it comes to month to date, it is resetting the value at the end of each month. In the case of quarter to date, it resets the value at the end of each quarter. In the case of year, it resets the value at the end of each year. For example, 2014 Jan, if you have the data here, and here the year to date, thing is for 2009-617, and for 1st January 2014, it starts with that month value only. Okay, that is what month to date, year to date, quarter date. Hope you are able to understand. Next one, the fiscal year to date. It is the period starting from the beginning of the first day of the current fiscal year and ending on the last day of the fiscal quarter, most recently ended. For example, in our case in India, right, the fiscal year starts April 1st to 1st of this year, and next year 31st March, the financial year ends. Okay. So in that case, what you need to do is, so there is a function called total YTD. With that, we can find out the year-to-date sales or profit or year-to-date units sold, whatever you want it. Okay. The first argument is your sum of sales, the aggregation function, and second one is the date column in the fact tables date column. You need specific date. This is mandatory, and then 331. So in the case of time intelligence, first of all, you need to make sure that you need to have a separate date table. We already discussed about the date dimension, right? Without date dimension, it cannot do the filtering correctly. Why a date table needs to be created separately? For example, this is a situation, and for example, sales amount is available and purchase amount is another, available. But when you use the year within this same table, right, it is not doing the filtering. It repeats the same value for the purchase amount here. This is available in another table. This is available in another table. If you want to display these two values in the same thing, right, it is not doing the filtering correctly. But after you you create a separate date table, it does the filtering for the purchase amount also correctly. So this column comes from your date table. Like in our example, I use the calendar thing. Calendar is nothing but date table. It's also called a date dimension. Don't say calendar or date in the interview, date dimension. Okay, good. So next one is, I just quickly go over here and I'll show you where is that? Even for this, it is readily available. Where is the month to date? Yeah, this is the one. Look here, I just created a separate table here. What is the time? 11 o'clock. Oh, sorry guys, it's already late. I don't want to strain you because you're all working, right? I don't want to make you to stay awake. And the year to date, month to date, you understood the idea. What I will do is I will cover it in the upcoming Tuesday. It will not take much time. And once we are done with this, you're all set. Okay, we will wrap up the DAX thing. And then in addition to that, we have another function, treat as. That is also an important function. I will cover that also along with this one. And then we will, next Thursday, we'll start with the SQL Server part. And then if possible, followed by so next Saturday, we will complete the SQL Server part. Okay, what are the important things, I will cover it. With that, you're all set. Okay, but make sure that you are revisiting all the DAX related function that I explained you, and we will have